Hello and welcome to my presentation on the graphing calculator. So here we are in our course, and I'm assuming for the time being that everybody knows about the TI graphing calculator, and going out on a limb even further, that everybody has a TI graphing calculator. Now, the first thing I'd like to do is let me just take mine, put it in my hand, and show you right here. Okay. First thing I'd like to do is to talk a little bit about the benefits of this device. This calculator and this course go together very well. You need a device to help you with your calculations and things that are going to take a lot of time if you were going to do by hand. This calculator, believe it or not, is more powerful than the ENIAC computer that was used to break the German code during World War II. Now that's powerful. We don't normally think about all of that power in our day and age because of all of the devices that we have. But it's very powerful computationally speaking. And that's important that you are aware of that. Now, the calculator is expensive, $100, $120. That's a lot of money to spend on a calculator. So that's important to keep in mind as well. So what are the key benefits? Well, one, it helps you with your computation. Two, it's a great device for doing graphs. And three, there are other features about the calculator that could prove helpful, just not in this course, but in other courses as well. So we will not have the time to get to all of the different things that this calculator could do, but it is a great way for you to become familiar with the calculator. Of course, a lot of high school students started with this calculator thinking that they needed it, and perhaps they could have done just as well with the scientific calculator. But we're just aware of that. I want you to know that. Now, having talked about all of the benefits and the fact that you're going to be able to use this calculator on your tests, your midterm, and your final exam, having mentioned the benefits, there's a couple quick reminders that everybody needs to be aware of. And one would be, just because you have the calculator doesn't mean that you don't have to think. I don't know how to say that other than just that. It is very beneficial for you to be computational fluent, and I talked about that in that first lesson, so keep that in mind. The calculator may be quicker, but the calculator is programmed by human beings. So keep that in mind. All right, so now what I want to do is take a moment and talk about the different sections of your calculator. So let me sort of zoom in here, okay? But before I do that here, I'm going to call this the home screen. I'm going to call these Game Boy keys. I'm going to call these the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons, okay? And I'll refer to these as the white keys. I'll refer to these as the gray keys. I'll refer to these as menu keys. All right. And then you have the two special keys. You got the blue second, and then you have the green alpha. And then don't forget your enter key or your equal key. That's important as well. All right. So let me see if we could zoom in a little bit. Okay, again, your home screen. All right, so I'm just going to turn my calculator on, and I'm just going to type in 25 times 39. Okay, I don't know if you're seeing that or not. Okay, well, Forgive me for the getting sidetracked here. All right, that's probably good enough. So again, you can see the home screen, and you can see this. So when I hit enter, that was a minus, wasn't it? When I hit enter, so what I put in here was over here, and my result is over here. So please keep that in mind. All right, now let's talk a little bit more about some of these other keys. So let me lift this up here. Let's start with the easy first. So here's your number pad. Okay. Don't forget, this is your plus and negative key. This is not subtraction. Let's go over here to the gray keys, or the operation keys. All right, so you got divide, you got multiply, you got subtract, you got plus. Now when we subtract something, notice I pressed that key. And again, the enter key. All right, over here on the left side, you're on and off. Okay, so I'm going to go second on, and that turns my calculator off, and I'll turn it back on. Store we'll talk about later. Len we'll talk about later. Log, now I don't want to go against the grain here, but log is something we'll talk about a little bit later in the course. Now this key right here, the x squared key, a very, very important and very frequently used key. So again, I'm right here, the x squared key. You're going to use that a lot. An example, watch if you would. I'm going to do 15 squared. Okay. All right. So isn't that pretty? That's a thing of beauty right there. All right. So I'm looking right here. Now I have a comma. We won't use that in this class. Parentheses we will. Now you don't have brackets, you have parentheses. So here's a little quick example. Now I want to clear my home screen, so I'm going to hit the clear button once, and in that case it clears the entire screen. I'm going to do 2 left parenthesis 5 plus left parenthesis 8 minus 9 right parenthesis. Now I had 2 left parentheses, so I need 2 right parentheses. According to the order of operations, what's going to happen? Well, you know what's going to happen. It's going to do the 8 minus 9 first, that's negative 1. Then 5 plus a negative 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay? Now, if I say this once, I say this a million times. Don't let the calculator do your thinking for you. Let it help you, but it's no substitute for an engaged mind. So please keep that in mind. No pun intended there. Okay, so we're through with this. Again, this is a power key. So if I wanted to do 13 to the 3rd power, there you go. I could do that. Now, your calculator may not show that. It may show that caret key. And again, the caret key right here. All right. My calculator, I updated my my operating system, and it does look a little different. So keep that in mind. And I'll show you how to do that later if you are interested. All right, real quick here. This is to the negative 1 power. You should know that. So 2 to the negative 1 power. Watch that. 2 to the negative 1 power. Sorry, I messed up here. 2 to the negative 1 power is 1 over 2, which is 0.5, isn't it? Okay. All right, so sine, cosine, and tangent. Unfortunately, we won't do trigonometry in here. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Those are applications. There's the programs. This is about your different variables. And again, your clear key is a very important key. We won't talk about this that much here. Now, whenever I want an X, I'm going to press this key. Whenever I want an X, I'm going to press this key. And stat is for statistics. We may or may not talk about that. We probably will a little bit. And again, your blue second key, you got mode, and you got delete. All right, and then insert above that. I need to talk momentarily about the mode. Okay. If my name was Al, would that be a la mode? I'm sorry. All right, so here's the mode right here. So this is a way to sort of do some settings on your calculator. And You could have your calculator round your answers to 2 places, so you would just go and activate that by hitting enter. That is called activating or pasting that, or just selecting that feature. I'm going back to float. Okay, here's degrees and radians. Right now, that is all I want to show you with that. We'll come back to that at another time. Now that deals with all of the keys below my fingers. Let's talk about these keys right up here. Okay, I'm going to just press this. This is called the equation editor, and we use that for graphing. This is your window. Okay, be careful that you don't press that too hard or hit it hard. You may break your window. Ha ha ha. Okay, so this talks about how big your graph screen is. This is to zoom in. This is to trace. We're going to talk about that later. I'll just trace over that. And then graph. So let me just do a real simple example because I know you're so excited about that. So I'm going to clear these guys right here, and I want an X right here. So I'm just going to type in X, and I want to graph it. Now I'm going to do zoom standard. Zoom standard is, or zoom 6. I'm going to hit enter, and well, lo and behold, I messed up. I don't have my graph on there. So I'm going to go to my format menu, format, axes on, boom, and then my favorite button, graph. So there's a graph. So keep that in mind. Alright, I've only got a couple minutes left, so I need to hit some other things that you need to know. I want to get out of that, so I'm going to hit clear. Now, so here you go. I have my home screen. I have the familiarity with the keys that I shared with you. Let's talk about the menus. So I want to talk briefly about the math menu. I'm going to press math, and lo and behold, I have a menu. So one of the students said, how do I do the cubed root of something? Here you go. Number 4, cubed root of 8. Everybody should know that is 2. Okay? Now, can I do a cubed root of a negative number? Yes, you can. Now, I'm going to go and hit second enter, and it's going to paste back what I had before. So I'm going to go backwards and hit negative 8. And lo and behold, negative 2. Again, if your calculator doesn't show this and you like this, you just communicate to me, and you could update your operating system on your calculator. All right, I want to get rid of all of that, so I may have to hit clear twice. So now here's a good question. What about the square root? So I'm going to use my square root key, which I didn't mention to you. It's right here above the x squared. So square root of a negative 4. Okay? Negative 4. Will that work? No, because you can't have the square root of a negative number. I'm looking at my time, and I only got a minute here, so a couple pointers here about your calculator. All right, it's a great tool, and you can use it on your midterm and your final. Matter of fact, it's the only calculator, the TI-83 or 84 are the only calculators that you could bring to your final exam. Now, last thing, you should have one. If you don't have a graphing calculator, I do not advise you borrow one. I advise that you have one purchased. I mentioned to you this in the syllabus, and so if I have 35 students, I may have 5 of you that are doing your best not to, purchase the calculator. My advice, go on some type of eBay situation, buy one. You can get one for about $40, $50, $60. And when you're done with the course, if you want to be done with the calculator, then you could sell it back, and you could probably get that amount of money. So that's really no big deal. So please keep that aware. I will be doing some more training. If you'd like some more information on the graphing calculator, I hope you enjoy using it in the course. It is a great tool, and have fun, and best wishes. Thank you.